Adam Kinzinger was in a war zone, was out shooting with the opponent of Senator Josh Hawley, and someone got shot or blasted with shrapnel, ricochets, hitting this reporter's arm right there in the right location above the elbow. Blood all over the place. Adam Kinzinger standing there, gauze in his hand, looking pathetic and helpless. And the question is, what the heck was going on here? How did this guy get shot? Blasted with shrapnel. You can see he explains it. This guy's running against Hawley, and Hawley's obliterating him on X, just totally mocking him over this. But here's what his opponent says in Missouri. He says, "A great day at the range today." What? Great day? Someone almost died. Says with my friend Adam Kinzinger, who claims to be, I guess, a firearms expert with a lot of training. We'll see if that is validated. We got to hang out with some union workers while exercising our freedom to blast other people in the arm. Always have your first aid kit handy in case you're acting recklessly with firearms, which could be a charge in some cases, right? Those reckless endangerment by operating a firearm negligently. It's not good. Shrapnel can always fly when you hit a target like today, and you've got to be ready to go. So he's going to get obliterated. Okay. I've got other firearms experts here like Clay Martin and other very intelligent folks in this arena who are going to explain how this is all idiotic. He says, we had 4 first aid kits, so we were able to take care of the situation. And I'm glad Ryan is okay and was able to continue reporting. What? Were they in Iraq? The heck are they talking about? I'm glad he was able to continue reporting. We're happy he's alive, according to some people who are looking at what's going on here. So here is a photo. Now, if you're a firearms person at home, then of course, hi, somebody's standing outside the window screaming at me right now. Yeah, it's one of those downtown situations in Phoenix, Arizona. So we'll just keep going with the show. But right now, as you can see, this is Kinzinger, and we have questions over whether or not you can identify and spot any problems with the situation here. And first and foremost, anybody who goes down to the range knows you at least have to put your eye protection over your eyeballs when you're shooting. Look at that. Where is his eye protection? All right, so this is one part of the problem. Now, Sean Davis is going to give us a list of, I think, 7 of them that are egregious, and so we'll come back on that. But if you're just playing this game at home, it's like one of those games. Remember when you used to go to the doctor's office? It's find these things that are in the picture that don't match the other thing, and you're like, oh gosh, where is that? Where is that beach ball? Where is that beach ball? Oh, there it is. You circle it, right? One of those. That's one image. That's Josh Hawley's opponent over there. Here is the crew that was out there acting a fool. Here is some other close-ups of this. Lots of equipment there. And another thing you'll see is he got shot with some shrapnel. Not looking good. Absolutely being ridiculed over on X all over the place, as they rightfully should. The Kansas City Star posted this on their Instagram. They said a TV reporter was hit by a bullet fragment at a Lucas Kuntz event. Kuntz? I don't know how to say that one. Anyways, we'll just figure it out. The campaign event. The U.S. Senate candidate who was shooting an AR-15 at the time provided, oh my gosh. So I don't know who was actually shooting the weapon. Did he shoot the reporter? TV reporter was hit by a fragment at an event. He was shooting an AR-15 at the time, and he provided first aid. So this journalist got shot by Kuntz? Kuntz? Is that his name? How do you say his name? Kuntz? I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Need some help on this one. So then Josh Hawley reposted this. He says, when liberals play with guns, people get hurt. Clown show. It's Kuntz? Dunce. Huh? Kuntz. I think we'll go with Kuntz. I don't think it's pronounced that way. Anyways, that's amazing. Josh Hawley, when liberals play with guns, people get hurt. And so they're like, guns are dangerous. Guns are violent. This is reckless behavior. So Josh Hawley also said this: I condemn all acts of violence against reporters and call on Kuntz to never to shoot another one again. Stop shooting journalists, Kuntz. Sheesh. Now, here's another one. Look where they applied the tourniquet. Didn't even need one. I don't know what's happening here. All right, that's just incredible. All right, so here's some more photos. Now, here was one by Josh Hawley. He says, release the footage. Release the footage. Says the scene after Hawley's opponent accidentally shot a reporter at an Adam Kinzinger event. Dude still has his microphone. They got a tourniquet so the dude doesn't bleed out on the floor as Kinzinger standing there. Listen, a little awkward. What's going on over here? Tourniquet. He's going to get out probably a gurney. I think he's probably going to get a gurney out here and maybe put on a helmet. Anderson Cooper's on his way over right now. Anderson Cooper is going to suit up in body armor and a helmet. He'll come out there too. Reporting here from Missouri. This journalist will probably Karine Jean-Pierre probably award him some honorary medal for this. And you can see what's happening. Josh Hawley's having fun with it. And there was more from Kinzinger. He responded, he said, Josh is such a dork. Okay, Adam, you guys just shot someone. What about the police on J6? You condemn those acts of violence? Back to J6. You just insurrected that journalist's arm off, dude. And the reporter's fine. Okay, it was a fragment. Guess you don't know how that all works. So when you guys go to the range, this happens. Like you go to the range and people just get accidentally shot with bullet fragments. Is that what happens? No, never happened when I've been there. No, because you don't act like fools on the range. In fact, people who know much better than I do are explaining this. This is Clay Martin. He is a highly qualified person. He's written many books about this. I've read several of them. And he's the author of one of my favorites called Wrath of Wendigo. It's a fun one and a short read, but it's a lot of fun, good energy. Patron and a little brutal too. Patron saint of combat readiness, aspiring sea person. I think he was Delta Force and highly qualified, trained a bunch of people. So just look him up and you'll know what I'm saying. Qualified. So here's what he says. Now, minimum safe distance for steel targets with a center fire rifle is 50 meters. All right. If you're going to be shooting steel with metal bullets, they're going to explode and cause fragmentation. So you got to be at least 50 meters away. NRA recommends 100 meters away so that when those fragments explode, they don't end up in journalists' arms. The ones that Kinzinger was shooting are at best 20 meters. Okay. He says, not me saying it, you were lucky no one died, right? That person got shot in the arm and that was his quick take on it. He also said the correct way to apply a tourniquet to a reporter is to save it for a real emergency. Save it for a real emergency. So anyways, that guy's going to go home. Honey, I got shot today. So here was a great response. And this came over from Sean Davis. And we're a big fan of his. He's over at The Federalist, co-founder, CEO of The Federalist, does awesome reporting. And here's his, I think, mega take that settles this. He says, all right, look, I'm sorry. Okay, this tweet is insane. All right, this is lunacy. This whole post from this guy. Let's go through the 7 different reasons this was reckless. He says it contains multitudes. The longer you look at the photos, the worse it gets. He says, first of all, they're shooting steel at 5 to 7 yards with rifles, which could have killed someone, right? Here's where they're at. And so you could say, yeah, maybe it's not far, right? That's not far at all. So they're shooting steel. He says, which could have killed someone given the force with which the bullets will ricochet off the steel targets at the distance. You would instantly get permanently banned at my range if you did that, right? If you were this close, you're shooting this, 0 questions asked, you're done. And I made this point when we were concerned about Walls walking around with his shotgun loosey-goosey this way. And at the range that I've been at, that's an outdoor open door range, if you're doing that stuff, you're getting scolded instantly. Kinzinger then also holds his rifle like a complete ninny, and that will never not be funny to me. And pro tip for Kinzinger, the eye protection works better when it's on your eyes, not your head, you stupid idiot. Try using your brain for once. You're lucky you still have one after today. So you can see it. Here, we'll zoom in on this just so we can make sure it's crystal clear. Yeah, where's his eye protection there? He's got his ear protection in, but his eye protection is not on while he's shooting. Hello. You can see it's also pretty dang close. And we'll just pick back up from there. Sean continues, and he's pointing out the holding of the rifle. Yeah, so I think maybe he's talking about that open grip with the thumb on this front handle rather than wrapping the thumb around, almost like a bench press grip in some ways. Anyways, looks now try using your brain. He says, now Kinzinger is for some reason using a high-powered scope, looks like a 3 to 9x by the looks of it. He's shooting a target that's about 5 yards away. There is a bolt-action rifle on the table, so presumably someone was also using a bolt action, to shoot steel at 5 yards. Insane. There are at least 2 canisters of explosive tannerite powder on the table, downrange from where the guns are being fired. That could have potentially killed or seriously injured someone if someone shot it or if someone was stupid enough to be shooting close enough to steel for a ricochet to hit the tannerite, which explodes. At one point, the cameraman is downrange from all the guns, which, given the violations we found so far, we cannot assume are not safe and unloaded. Way to think that one through, dummy. And these morons are so stupid that even after shooting someone, they shot someone whose injury was due entirely to negligence, their own fault. They thought it would be awesome to post the evidence of their idiocy for all the world to see. He says lawyer up because that reporter you could have killed has you dead to rights. Now, absolutely mind-blowing insanity from a candidate from a political party that wants to take away your guns because it claims you can't safely own them, they say. And then he's out there. He's like, yeah, we're firearms experts and look at us. It's a campaign stop, right? Unfortunately, they're playing with firearms. And Kinzinger is also getting mocked for where he's holding this gun. It's like just barely braced in there. Giant. Anyways, just looks like a goofy day just in general. Never mind the fact that they shot someone. Yeah. All right. So that's what's happening. Kinzinger doesn't know what the hell he's doing over there, calling everybody morons. Meanwhile, they're the ones that shot someone. All right. So that's this guy. The local news, Kansas City, is reporting it. Says he's a Democrat. He was at a private residence near Holt with former Rep. Kinzinger when a fragment ricocheted off a target. Kuntz was shooting the AR-15 at the time and was the only person shooting when the injury occurred, so it was him. Ryan Gamboa, KSHB, was bleeding from his arm. Kuntz, who spent 13 years in the Marines, wrapped gauze and his belt around the reporter's arm to help stop the bleeding. The wound was later wrapped with medical tape. Gamboa remained at the range and continued on his assignment. He was in a war zone. He's like Anderson Cooper. He'll get his job on CNN. Kuntz said that he had first aid on hand, allowing him to respond quickly. He's like, you never know what's going to happen. I'm always prepared. Send me to the Senate. Shrapnel can ricochet off anything, and you've got to be prepared, he said in a written statement. We were able to handle the situation. Can't believe it. And I'm grateful Ryan's okay and could continue reporting on our reckless endangerment. The shooting, like a prosecutor could look at this, and if you were doing this like and a kid got shot or something like that, like if a kid is at a range, right? A kid, some 9-year-old kid gets shot in the arm because their parents are acting recklessly. Oh yeah, that's going to be a problem. The shooting range event came with 2 weeks until Election Day. Kuntz has emphasized his military background in his campaign ads. He's, yeah, look at me. I'm like a medic. He's like a medic. Oh, and they think that because he posted it. We're prepared. We're always prepared. It's like those people. Look, and I understand not everybody has the same life experiences. Like I didn't serve in the armed services. I was a Marine or anything like that. But it's like certain people just have, it's like an adventure for them when it's not really an adventure. The example that's coming to my mind is like changing a tire. Somebody gets into a flat tire and their afternoon's ruined and they have to pull over and they have to wait for someone to come change a tire. It's like a whole murder and they have to talk to you about it for like 20 minutes, right? Or 2 hours about how it was a shocking thing. Oh, wow. You couldn't change that yourself? Like it was a big thing? You're like a 40-year-old dude. What? Anyways, I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but you get the point. Yes, and I survived it. Yeah, I was like on the side of the freeway and everything. I barely made it. You're like, okay, relax, dude. Your tire blew out. Just calm down. So it's like the same thing. You shot a guy and then you had to gauze him up. Great job. So you're doing an amazing job. Can't wait for you. He belongs in the Senate. It's perfect. Coons faces an uphill. You shoot someone and then he probably needs $1 billion for the damage he caused, and we can pay for that to help settle this. A September poll found that the Hill placed Hawley's support at 51% to Kuntz's 40%. That's good. I'm sure that's going to continue to increase there because they're creating their own war zones over there in Missouri. And apparently Kinzinger is perfectly fine with it. He's like, Josh, you're an idiot. Okay. People get shot at gun ranges all the time. I blast myself with shrapnel all the time. That's part of the fun, Josh. Don't be such a goof. All right. So that's Kinzinger. And hopefully he gets investigated for insurrecting that journalist's arm. All right.